Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Morning Coffee with Mike. Today, we have some very interesting things to talk about because, well, I want to share the story with you. My daughter is in the Girl Scouts, and one of the things that she's doing is she's doing the cookie sales that all the Girl Scouts do, and there's this new cookie. Let me show you this. Right, so there's this thing here, Raspberry Rally. Apparently you could only get this thing online, and yesterday was the first time that it went on sale, and well, we saw this, right? Raspberry Rally sold out. So this cookie sold out immediately, and that started to get my mind thinking, right? And so here's how this relates back to trading. So cookie is sold out. Why is this thing sold out? Well, what's some of the psychology of this thing, right? Like, well, why are people buying it? Are they buying it because they want to scarf down cookies, or are they selling it somewhere else? So that made me start to think, is this on eBay? Let's take a look. So here's the cookie, right? $5 cookie, right? They're selling it for $5 on eBay for $50. And that right there is psychology in action. And that's the same kind of psychology that you see play out in the market pretty much every single day. In fact, you can see it right here on one of the stocks that I'm looking at. In fact, I think this trade might have just triggered. This is Mercado Libre. And think about the price, right? You see price coming down. If this was that cookie that we were just looking at, now it's sold out, then all of a sudden demand starts to come in, bumps up the price, and now price is rallying. All this stuff, all this kind of trading, all this supply and demand, you could see happen in daily life. And it's one of the reasons why trading can be accessible to pretty much anybody, provided that you learn the skills that are required to know how to trade. Curious to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, I'm grab a cup. Let's see. What kind of comments do we have coming in here? A lot of people saying hello. Hello, welcome. All right, and we've got a couple of people here that look like they want to go live. So let's see if we can. Prashant, I saw your live first, so let's see if this works here. Yeah, Prashant, I accepted your invitation. Let's see if we go live. While waiting for Prashant, let me know what questions you guys have. Hello from India. Hello from New York. So, Renav, I need to, let's see, go live with Renav. All right. Let's try this again. Here we go.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
I am fine. What are you doing now?
What am I doing now? Talking to you.
No, I know. You are talking to me. I am working on my another setup, but
Okay. Tell me.
there is some confusion in me. Can we trade on the prediction? Because when we enter in trade with the chart pattern, it's too late to enter. Can we trade with the momentum of prediction?
Well, your setup should so here let me show you a chart so that could help explain what I mean when I explain this part of it. All right, so let's turn this around here. So and I'll make this one a bit bigger here. All right.
There is much noise in your chart.
Is what?
Because I use candlestick.
All right. Well, to at least get the Let me see what can I draw on one of these. Yeah, I think this one might be a little bit clearer here, right? So let's say that this is a setup that you're interested in, and I'll remove the drawings here. And let's just say that the setup that you're interested in, like you just wanted to draw a box around this, and you're saying, okay, if price breaks out of the box, then I want to enter. If it falls below the box, then
1 minute.
where I'd want to exit, right? Let's say that that's your setup. I don't know what your setup is, but let's just say that that's what you're looking at. And that's a setup that a lot of people do look at, right? Breaks out of the box, I'm in. Falls below the box, I'm out.
1 minute, I will show my chart, how I trade today in Indian market, Nifty.
Well, just to explain to you about breakouts, right? So you don't need to predict what's going to happen, because this thing, you don't know if it's going to break out of the box or not. This thing could go sideways for another month. It might fall below the bottom and never trigger. So what you want to do is wait for price to trigger whatever your entry is going to be, whether it's something very simple like this, whether it's something else. You really don't need to predict it.
So
Most
now I am
traders,
showing something
successful traders I
in
know
today's market.
don't predict.
Okay.
That's a different business.
There is my chart today. Market open here. After that, market break your structure. Then there is a liquidity sweep, I think. So I trade here and I book today around $50 today in Indian market.
Okay. So you shorted this, right?
It is an option trading like. So I am answering that because so many traders enter here because there is retest, breakout, retest, and enter here. After that, who enter here? Stop loss get hit here. But I didn't trade here. I trade after the breakout here. So I am right or wrong? Suggest me.
Well, there's really only one way to know if you're right or wrong. And this is where I think a lot of people get messed up, because people are trying to decide if they're right or wrong based on, did I make money on this one trade, right? That's always going to be, because you're going to have winners and losers, right? Remember when we spoke last time, like the idea is that you flip a coin and you make $2 on heads, you lose $1 on tails. So you're always going to have winners and losers, right? So no matter what, there's going to be winners and losers. So the idea is not, this trade was a winner, so I was right, and this trade was a loser, so I was wrong. That you're right if you follow your system. So what does your system tell you to do in that scenario? Does it tell you to short? Does it tell you to go long? Well, what does your system tell you to do?
Because trading is a zero-sum game.
It's a what?
I think trading is a zero-sum game. One lose and one win. It's called trading. Because both players do not get win after taking a trade. Because some people see chart and think it's go down. Some people think it's go up. So there is a deficiency in this way. That's why it's a zero-sum game, I think. One player lose and one player win.
I think that if you feel that way, if it's a constant zero-sum game, it makes it very competitive. So then the question to ask then is that kind of belief helpful to you or not, right? Like so I don't want to judge the belief itself. I want to if I'm going to take a look at a belief, I'm curious if the belief is serving me to the end that I want, yes or no, and in what other ways does holding this belief affect me, right? Because that's not a belief that I have, that trading is a zero-sum game. I think that there's an infinite number of players. People are coming in at different sizes. And so you could have a big institution that's driving up price. I get in, get out. That's not affecting the institution, right? So I could win, the institution can win. Yeah, it's just not something that I personally believe. But if trading being a zero-sum game serves somebody else, then great. That's a good belief for that person. So I wouldn't want to shit on that belief.
Okay.
Right? So
So,
does that, in what ways is that belief serving you? That's the question. And you don't have to answer it right now per se, but it is something to think about if that's something that you want to continue believing. The main thing that I see that trading being zero sum is that it makes it a hyper competitive game, and it also might put us into a stance that, well, if I lose, so like I'm either a winner or a loser, and that win or loss is based on the result.
yes. So many
That's one of the
people
problems that I see with it, but again, it could be a positive thing for somebody else.
in trading, whenever every person is trade, but even he thinks about the if I enter in trade, so there will be a momentum of my trade or not. Because there is in market so many lack of momentum. Whenever you enter in trade, the market get stuck, market get consolidated. So how can we overcome on it
How
on
can we
low
overcome
momentum
it?
side? Yes.
Well, the way that I look at it, I'm looking for these volatility compression patterns, right? Like if we're just talking tactically, right? So one of the reasons why, like I was looking at this, and this isn't really what I would want. What I would want is more of something like this here, where price is coming down and it's starting to narrow over here. Then it's starting to break out and then turn back up. And so I'm seeing volatility start to contract in this way and then start to change direction. And when I come
Oh,
down here and I look at the volume is starting to go up. So that's showing me that that's demand that's pushing the price higher. So because of that, I'm seeing, okay, demand is coming in, price is going higher. I'm looking for that momentum to continue to carry higher.
yes.
All right.
It
So
depends on volatility.
yeah. So then, as the momentum continues to, as price continues to go up, I'm not just going to let price go on forever, right? Like here's another example.
But
Same
okay, okay.
trade, but started down here. Same principle, right? Volume comes in, price breaks out. Price continues to run up based on all those big volume spikes. I wouldn't just sit there and let this thing run forever. I'm looking to sell a bit up here, sell a bit more up here, and then when it starts to consolidate, then get out of the rest because I don't know how deep this is going to be. Now that it's starting to round out again and starting to move up, then take a small position and see if it can hold this level right here.
Yes. So I do not trade with the indicator base. I only use price action. If I set my price action, it fit to my system. I trade. If the price action not fit to my system, I do not trade. I avoid.
And
So
that's
there
fine.
is so many. Yes, there is so many patterns, but always pattern always fails. I think because pattern do not work properly nowadays in my market, Indian market. M pattern, double top pattern, double bottom, wedge, falling wedge, all the pattern got failed in market. So I use only trap trading. I retailer got trapped and I take trade and I win. So I use my system as a trap trading system. I build that.
Okay.
So, it's like a trap trading system like a all person want to get the trade on the basis of because it's so low, it's so high, that's why he want to sell, he want to buy. So can we depreciate it? Like can we enter in a trade after support break, yeah, after resistance break, we enter in a trade. But there isn't a much liquidity in after the support break. So how market go down? That's why I do not trade. after support break or after resistant break. I avoid breakout trades, only trade with the other end. So this is a system like a trap trading system. So it is right for if you anyone follow that system,
Mhm.
trap trading system.
So basically, you're shorting breakouts, if I understand
Yes,
correctly.
yes, yes.
And that's fine. You could do that. If that's your system and that works and it's generating money over time, then great. That's
It's
exactly what
good.
you
Yes,
wanted to do.
yes, yes. But I feel trapped after only one thing. There is a psychology. I think the market go up. I know market go up, market go down, but it is not get the chance to enter in trade. If risk reward break my mentality and my system. So how to avoid? How to get a good risk reward trade I can get? So what should I do?
So, reward to risk is a factor of three things. It's where you enter, where you're placing your stop loss, and where your targets are, right? Or how
Yes.
far the trade goes before you sell it, right? Like that's what's going to determine your reward to risk. So a lot of people end up with no reward to risk because the reason why is because they'll enter, not even place a stop loss, and so their risk is the whole trade, right? So
Yes.
uh, the tighter that your stop loss is, the tighter that you're going to cut the trade off if it's a loser, then that means that you'll have so much more upside. So that's one of the reasons why, well, when I'm trying to look for trades and I'm trying to look for these compression patterns, I want it to be very, very tight. So that way my risk is super small. And then that means that my upside will be so much bigger, right?
So
Like if
can
I'm
we
wrong on a trade, I want to be out immediately. And I don't mind being wrong half the time.
treat it behalf of the prediction? We use chart pattern.
I'm not
We should
using
use
chart patterns to predict. I'm using chart patterns to look for the reward to risk.
chart pattern go to reward to risk.
Yeah, I'm using chart patterns for reward to risk. I'm looking for it to manage risk. I'm looking for it for um, probability and momentum and these kind of things. Yes, I am betting on a direction, but I'm not trying to say that, oh, because of this, price is going to X price, right? Uh, like uh, like for the one that we were talking about before, like I look at this and I see
Yeah.
a few different things that are telling me, okay, I think that this will break out and go up, but I'm not trying to predict exactly where it's going to go. I'm just saying, okay, price gets above here. I know where I'm going to cap my downside, and I know where I'm going to begin to take profits along the way. And
Yes.
that's basically it. Um,
There is your type of candlestick. If I want to enter, if this is my support, and I want to trade here, so there is a trend line over here. Then trend line break here. So can we trade here? But when we enter here, so there is my risk reward is too high. So where should I enter? Can you explain?
um, Not exactly on that chart. So there's certain definitions that, well, when we come up with a setup, we want to have definitions of what's going to constitute a setup. We don't want to just look at a chart and say, oh, I kind of see this pattern, so great, I'm going to trade it. We want to have uh, patterns. We want to have clearly defined patterns, and I'm just going to bring up some examples that I have here. Let's go to the sheet, and I'll turn my screen back around. And then I'm going to have to hop off because we're a little bit over time. But you see like how there's, like this one is a pullback, the time frame that I'm going to look for it on,
Daily,
how long this
7
thing
days to 5
supposed to be.
weeks,
Then
3 to 5
we
days
start to get
maintenance,
into how the pattern looks, then
okay,
look in
Excel
the
sheets.
character, then come over here, the placement within the trend, the market type, that's going to be required for this thing. Then I'm looking at different things that are boosters for the trade, right? Like, so this isn't a requirement, but if it has these things, then it's even better for that type of setup. And then we want to have some examples of good looking ones of these, right? So if I click on this here, this is showing me a good example of what that type of setup was. So that's basically what you want to create for yourself on any type of setup that you're going to have. You want to have very clear definitions, so that way we don't just see something on the chart and say, oh, that kind of looks like it, let's jump in. No, like you want to be able to verify versus something that that's been proven to work. You have clear definitions, and you can say, oh, this one actually is a really good one, or you know what, that one's not quite as good as I thought. I'll take a pass. And yeah, that's part of the idea. I actually get into this in a couple of different chapters in my book, The Trading Mind Wheel. So yeah, that's about it. Unfortunately, I've got to hop off, but I'm glad we were able to connect again today, Renat. This was good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. I'll see you again later on. I'll see everybody tomorrow at 9:30. Tomorrow, we're going to try talking to May again. She's going to try to hop on, and hopefully Instagram plays nicely like it did with Renab and I here.
Yeah. Your post inspire me, and you or your post both are inspiring me. I really watch your every post. What you post, and I learn from there, and I inspire myself to get a big chance in my trading, age with my trading. Thank you. Nice to meet you,
They
sir.
appreciate it. They appreciate it, man. Great to hear. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
And I'll see everybody
Thank
tomorrow.
you, sir.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Jai Shri Ram. Jai
Yeah.
Shri Ram.